What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Schmidt Talkers, where we talk a little Schmidt about our health. I am Dr. D with Dr. Lenz, and today we are going to talk about our summer detox guide. But before we get into it, let's talk about our feel-good tip for today.
Good tip.
So, you've heard us talk about one of our feel-good tips in the past has been find a community, find a group that you can be successful with, because research has shown you're going to achieve more success by sticking with a group and community. But we're going to take it to the next level with this feel-good tip. You have to start taking action with that community or group. So, when we have individuals join our community and group, what we've started to see is the ones that are sharing their journey, making posts, interacting with other community members, group members, commenting on other people's journeys, just being active. Actually, what we've seen, they get way better results and achieve their health goals as a whole, whether it's weight loss, hormone balance, whatever it is. They're sharing their journey, they're supporting others in their journey, and they're being active in their group or community. So, if you're still at that standpoint, make sure you start being active with the group and community that you found, because like I said, we've seen individuals achieve that much better results by doing that. So that's your feel-good tip for today. Now let's get into it, our summer detox guide. I think we're going to start with a very important one here, which is the adrenals and liver support. Because I think, we're coming up on July 4th here, and summertime, I think as a whole, we get excited, we start to have a little bit of fun, but some of that fun means a little bit of stress on our liver and adrenals.
Yes, and that's the whole purpose of today's podcast is to give you guys our top 5 tips to detox your mind and body so you can, help prevent that fat gain over the summer where we kind of party hardy and let ourselves go. There is totally a way to establish that balance. It's just taking care of the right parts of your body so we can go out drinking and you're not killing your liver, because that's just reality. Like you said, 4th of July. So yeah, adrenals and liver, we started with number 1. If you're in our community, like you said, Derek, we do focus on like little, I don't really call them detoxes, I call them cycles in the group. And this is one of them that I do like to do. Maybe we need to do one soon. This is a great reminder for us. But I mean, we can kind of dive in a little bit to why the adrenal glands and why the liver. Which one do you want to start with?
You pick.
Okay, well, we'll just go with the adrenal glands since that's what we have written down first. But I think it is kind of commonly more known that adrenal glands, adrenal fatigue, that kind of thing, is a big hormone producer actually, and one of them being our cortisol hormone. And our cortisol hormone allows our body to take on more stress essentially, and not feel so wired and tired all the time when it's properly balanced. The cortisol hormone helps our body respond to stress essentially. And when it's unbalanced, we're in like a fight or flight state, almost like, so that's where taking care of the adrenal glands in and of itself can help your body respond to stress. Another thing with the cortisol hormone in general, as we know, it can hang on to belly fat. So that belly fat area, if you have, that belly you want to get rid of, adrenal glands, your cortisol hormone, focus on that can really make a big difference.
And I think that adrenals can get hit kind of hard in the summer without us even recognizing it, because I think commonly, people experience stress all year round, but holidays are kind of more known for stressful times. The summer, a lot of people have events.
Right.
Those can be stressful sometimes for people.
And it's not just like stressful, but like you're putting stress on your body, like drinking a lot more and having those snacks, which are like pretzels and chips and pop. These are things that are putting stress on our body and breaking things down the processes like the adrenal glands. And that's where, we'll get into after we talk about the liver, like things that we can do then to help those two things. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
So the adrenal glands, number one, focus, do a little cut back there, which we'll talk about here in a second. Next up, the liver. I am a big proponent on liver detoxing. This can go kind of hand in hand with our point number 3, which I'll leave you guys hanging. But with the liver, I mean, you want to talk about detoxing? That's what our liver does, right?
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what it does. I mean, you nailed it. It filters. It is our detoxifier, if you want to call it anything. So drinking alcohol, dealing with stress,
medication.
anything.
So
yeah.
That's something that we'll see a lot with just like our demo, right? That we work with our ladies. Medication use, that includes birth control, oral contraceptives. That includes like any kind of medication that you've taken long term. And then also drinking. Every night, maybe you're having 1 to 2 glasses every other day during the week. We're also going to parties now, like summer parties, and you're drinking. This really does, especially over time, because we do this every year round. It really your liver takes a hit because it is filtering out these toxins, and it can really become depleted of these minerals and vitamins that are needed to detox your system, to detox your body, and to filter that out. Your liver is going to cleanse your blood. It's going to help metabolize nutrients and those medications, okay? So the liver is a huge thing that's going to flush these out for us so our body can expose of them. And so, two things, that the adrenals and liver, and again, this can go with our point number 3, is things I recommend doing is you cut things out for a short period of time, even like 5 to 10 days, cutting out alcohol, cutting out endotoxins that I just went over, but then also like those were exotoxins, but endotoxins. So like being freaky and running around with your schedule, with your head cut off, emotional stress is what I'm trying to say.
I think that's the key is, like you said, go through some of these mini detoxes essentially throughout the week. So if you go to an event on the weekend, and let's say you put a little stress on those adrenals, livers, there's alcohol involved, maybe some food that was a little overdone. Then throughout the week, go through these mini cycles of making sure you're getting back on track, making sure you're trying to help these adrenals and liver actually get back to functioning properly, and not continue to hit them and beat them down hard continuously.
And the 2 things I like to recommend is the Adrenal Restore. I'll put that link in the show notes here, and then also liver detox. Those 2 are 2 supplement things. The liver one, you're going to have helpers to help your liver keep detoxing. There's going to add proper vitamins and minerals that your liver is more than likely depleted in. And the same with the Adrenal Restore. It's the same thing. It's like adaptogenic herbs that are going to help reboot that specific area. So those, and again, when we get to point 3, we'll jump into more like applicable things you guys can do. You want to move on point 2?
Yep, let's move on to point 2. So 2 is going to be ditch the toxic skincare SPF products.
Yes.
So we've talked about this in previous podcasts before, that there's a lot of products that we are using. We have no clue what's in them, and we have no clue that some of those products ingredients could be harming our hormones and our overall health. This applies to men and women. So we talked about this previously. It's super important, and it's something that I took for granted for such a long time. And it's something that we have taken a lot more seriously after looking in the research and digging deeper into things. And we've started making swaps ourselves.
Yeah, and listen, ditch it. It's stuff you're already buying. It's stuff we were already buying. And I was putting so much skincare on my face and on my body because I'm aging, and I don't want to. Like, I don't want my skin to look that way. And once I realized like how bad it was for my hormones, and then also Derek, I was like, we need to make this change. We need to swap it out. And here's the thing, like we use Beauty Counter, and you might look at some of the items and they're a little bit more pricey compared to your $5 Walmart thing, but I guarantee it lasts forever. I've had product since January and it's lasted me. I still have 3/4 of the bottle this month, which it's going to make 7 months. So like, for example, we have here a typical product contains anywhere from 15 to 50 ingredients, and the average woman uses 9 to 15 personal care products per day. Okay. So the average woman places around 515 individual chemicals on their skin each day through cosmetic use. 515 individual chemicals. Okay, so if you're someone that's like me, where I was starting to have bad periods again, bad cramps, heavy bleeding, things like that. If you're someone with hormonal problems, PCOS, endometriosis, cancer runs in the family, high estrogen, these kind of things can be attributed to things we're putting on our skin. Okay, and the number one reason why we're aging, or why your skin looks very aged, is being out in the sun. So now you're trying to protect your skin from the sun, but you're putting toxic SPF on. Swap out that SPF. That's why I put skincare /SPF, because it's the summertime.
Yeah, and I think, and we've talked about this previously as well, people take for granted that things can absorb on the surface of our skin.
Yeah.
So you just said it, all the products that we use in a day and all the chemicals that we come in contact with in a day, how is it then so far-fetched to think that some of these chemicals can be fluctuating our hormones, then in turn fluctuating our weight, then in turn making us feel fatigued?
I'll tell you why.
It's not far-fetched.
I'll tell you why, because you can't see it.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
like,
and it's hard to feel, right?
When
at
someone
times.
says, I don't feel the OptiReds, you're not going to feel anything when you take the OptiReds. I said this before, you're not going to feel antioxidants zapping free radicals out of your body. You're not going to feel your cells, donate electrons and oxygen and all this stuff. You're not going to feel it right away. It's going to build up in your system over time, and it's called things like cancer. It's just the truth. It's integrative. And I get really passionate about this stuff is because it's like, get it through your head. It's so people are not willing to make the switches, and it really bothers me because I just know just because something is in the store doesn't mean that company has your best interest for your health, right? So it's just like, why do you get grossed out when someone sneezes close by you? Because you don't want their spit on you, because their spit lands on you and it just absorbed in your skin and now you have their germs. Ew, I hope they're not sick. It's the same thing. You slather some SPF on your skin, that's absorbing in there. And then not only that, if it's not safe, it can be a chemical when you go out in the sun, like retinol. It reacts with the sun, and now you have a bad chemical reaction in your body.
And basically you have you're in chemistry class again and you have a chemical reaction on your arm and you just don't even realize it.
Yeah, you can't see it. You can't see it. I mean, the sneezing thing is perfect. Like, you get grossed out and someone sneezes by you because you don't want their nastiness on you. Because you understand that it absorbs through your skin. Like, it is on you now. It's the same thing.
Or respiratory droplets.
That's what
too,
I'm saying.
But yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So that's something, talking about detoxing, your summer for summer. That's an easy one too. You're already doing it. Okay, número 3.
All right, we're going to talk about de-bloating.
That's right, baby.
Because even though we're sweating and we're trying to de-bloat, sometimes we're bloating ourselves even more by some of the things we're eating and drinking during the summer.
That's right.
And that's not what we want.
Yes, that's the truth. And, it kind of, this is point number 3 that I wanted to tie into point number 1 with the liver and adrenals, is the bloat, which has a lot to do with the gut. Now, however, it's important to still take care of that liver aspect, because the liver does help with that digestion. So if that's something you haven't touched ever, your liver, I would definitely, that would be something to focus on. But moving on to bloating, we're going to be talking more about the digestive system and the gut more so. And this is something where it has a lot to do food, drink, and your stressful behaviors, which again goes with point number 1.
Yeah, and some of the points that we already touched on, if you have a weekend where, let's say, you're eating a lot of carbs or bready products, or you're drinking a lot of alcohol, during the week then, start to cut back on some of that alcohol. Start to de-bloat by cutting back on some of those bready products. Start getting more of those whole real foods in throughout the week. If you have a weekend like that as well, where you're feeling a little bloated and full and you ate some things that you were like, well, I ate it, whatever, it's over, start to take maybe an OptiGrains. Help your body get some digestive enzymes in your system to help break down some of that food that you did consume. You know, to help yourself feel a little better and help your body at least break it down and excrete it, get it out of here, you know, a lot more efficiently.
And that's exactly right. That's, I recommend OptiGreens 50 to everybody because of that digestive enzymes, like you said, and the probiotics for the long-term gut health. And plus you're going to get in a plethora of hand-chosen and veggies that you're not getting in ever. And it's going to have things like elderberry in there that's going to help the immune system. Even though working on the gut is going to help your immune system because your immune cells, the majority of your immune cells are located in your gut. Doing your body, you're already depleting your body with these poor, let's just face it, poor drink and food habits that we're establishing throughout the summer and holidays. That you need to add in supplementation. Like I don't ever tell anybody to like replace like a protein shake with a whole food meal. This is an area though where I'm like, you need supplementation to help your digestive system because we're that much of a-holes to our body across time, and it just plays such a big role. So I was gonna say OptiGreens 50, and honestly, the digestive enzymes by First Form are fantastic, which I'll link both of these again in the show notes. Adding in extra digestive enzymes when we're having around our parties. So say the 4th of July, like, you know, you're going to a party, you know, you're going to eat a lot of breads, beer, wine, liquor, whatever it is. Taking your OptiGreens 50 and then the digestive enzymes around those times is going to be like, you want to talk about a hangover cure? There you go. That's it right there. Like really. We have had people in the group use OptiGreens 50. And then now we got OptiReds, which are newer, you know, the past year or so. Those two to help a hangover, tell you what, that's it right there. But we just want to help our body excrete things. We don't want it sitting in that gut. So, and speaking of other things besides supplements, I've been recommending sauerkraut to a lot of people because sauerkraut's a fermented food and it's loaded with probiotics. But you want to make sure it's not like one of those processed ones. You just want like salt and water. I don't know. I'd have to look up. You want to look at the ingredients more. You're not going to want the canned kind. You're going to want to look for the glass or a Ziploc baggie or something like that.
Yep. So let's move on to point 4 here. We got an Epsom salt bath. You want to touch on that?
So this is something that I do tell a lot of the ladies to do in general in the group when they come to me with an injury. But this is really good to do in general, like 1 to 2 times a week. Of course, if you have kidney issues, you should check with your doctor. But the sulfates in the Epsom salt help draw out toxins from the body. And that's just really going to help you feel better, obviously, if it's helping draw out toxins. Then also with that warm, moist heat, which comes from the warm bath, it's going to help your ease muscle pain, joint pain. So it's all around just a good, I think, relaxation. It's great for detox. It's great for muscle recovery, which if you're training, it's going to help then with your workouts, prevent injury, as well as if you're someone that's getting out and walking and hiking and things like that. So it has a lot of great ways to kickstart just how you feel.
And in general, we try to fight some of that inflammation going on in our body, whether it's from food or injury or anything, and Epsom salt baths can help with fighting some of that inflammation going on.
Yep.
So we're gonna move on to point 5. Last point here is detoxing your minds.
Detox your mind. Yeah. So this is like a different thing that we're talking about with, you know, your summer detox guide is your mind, your soul. Detox that, right? We're gonna have a lot of toxic people in our lives or a lot of stressful things going on. Well, working on those endotoxins, those negative thoughts that can create then negative behaviors, that can really help how we feel in general. And if that helps how we feel in general with our energy, we're detoxing that mind. We're just rebooting ourselves. We're going to do better like throughout the day for our health. So just taking like 20 minutes I like to stretch. So my thing is mobility. I'll take some time to do mobility. That helps me kind of detox my mind and just relax. And that can even be during your Epsom salt bath if you like Epsom salt baths, or you like to read. People have different ways to detox the mind.
And that's exactly why we have all the mobility and all the flows that we have in the Daily Feel Good, because we know how important it is. And there's so much research backing how important just movement, stretching it is in general, whether it's for muscle recovery, mental health, blood flow. I mean, gosh, there's endless amount of positive things. That's why it's so important that we integrate it, not only a whole library of movements, but we put it into our daily workouts as well to do it before or after the workouts. So it's super, super important, especially with the summer. Like we already said, it could be stressful. There could be ups and downs in a summer. So it's great to just stay level-headed as you can, to achieve your ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. So I think that nailed it. On the summer detox guide. There's obviously a lot more things that we could talk about here, but we just talked about 5 solid guides, things to do for the summer. We hope that was helpful to you guys. If you would like more information, we already mentioned it. We have the Daily Feel Good on drlindsayschmidt.com. And we already mentioned earlier that we have a great community and group that you are so welcome to join. We'd love to have you. But remember, once you get there, start being active, start sharing your journey, start supporting others there too. It's a good thing to do. What else do we got that I'm forgetting? I think
that's about it. Just don't forget, if this is a podcast that you enjoy listening to, take a little screenshot, tag me in your story. That really helps with our small business that we do have, helping us spread the word in any way that you can. We truly appreciate it because that's our end goal, is to help as many people as we can with their health. Spreading the good word of health, baby.
I love it. This was a good one. And thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Please share. We love you guys. And we'll talk to you next time.
Peace out, Sauerkraut.